Catherine,
Yeah.
are you talking with a headset on or something?
No, I'm on a cell phone.
Okay, put it a little closer.
Okay, I am a intellectual, clean executive caregiver on the archetype.
Yeah.
And it's time for me to get a different position or a job, so I need some advice of, do I need to go back to school? Do I need to go work for a different profession? Or what? Because I can't get a job.
You can't get a job. How old are you?
55.
55, okay. Well, let me ask you this, and this is probably good advice for everybody. And this is, you know, this is the kind of thing where I can either say a lot or say a little, but we have to talk about what's true. One of the reasons why I want to do educational programs online, and I'm so devoted to teaching, but especially going online, is because education is changing. We need to become educated in what we feel we were born to do, what we feel we want to contribute, and what it means to follow a calling, as opposed to following a course curriculum and etc. That's number one.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was asking.
Okay, and these types of classes, this is what we're living through now, which is what makes this time in history really so extraordinary, but also so rigorous, is that we're seeing the traditional systems becoming dysfunctional. Kids are going through, universities, and they're studying traditional classes, which I loved. I was educated that way, and I loved those classes. But tragically, they're not being as supportive in the world to come, in the world we're trying to create, where ingenuity and recreating ourselves, creating ourselves anew, are the skills that are being called for as we move forward. So people who are now finding themselves needing to create jobs, who are in their 40s, in their 50s, and the fact is we're going to have to be employed all through our 50s, all through our 60s, perhaps even into our 70s, so that you are only now in your mid-years need to find creative ways of rethinking who you are, finding a whole second wind, and not thinking of yourself anymore as middle-aged at all, but in fact in the middle chapter of your life, which is what the 40s, 50s, and 60s are, the middle chapter. And in fact, if I were to design the journey of life now, I would say there's the first third, then there's the second third, and then there's the last third, and each one needs an occupation. Each one. And when you are reconstructing, reviewing, going into the next occupation, you cannot look at the one you had and think that's what you have to do again. That's what you did. And
Exactly.
now, being who you are today, this is what you have to create given someone. Now you have to accumulate your wisdom. Now you have to add your wisdom to your next career. Now you have to add your experience. And what we've done tragically is become so youth-oriented. Youth is useless when it comes to experience. It's brash. It hasn't got patience. It doesn't have endurance. It doesn't have savvy. It doesn't have any of that. I feel like I've only now come into my mastery, and I'm 60 years old. Only now I'm at the best of myself, but I've earned it. I've earned it. I'm a better teacher now than I was when I was 40. And that's how you have to look at yourself now and say, now I have all of this experience. I have to create myself anew. And what do I want to do? What skills do I have? What do I feel I'm called to do? And what's terrifying is forming yourself anew, because you have to get over the aversion this culture has to age. It has an aversion to it because this culture has become so, it's so frightened of dying, of disintegrating, of showing age in any way, shape, or form. And part of it is that the whole body, mind, spirit idea has been a absolute blowout failure. And it's just gone body, mind, mind, body. So that the idea of energy is everybody pours their energy into making their body live forever. Because nobody ever deals with, does the soul live on? They love their past lives, but they can't even conceptualize that this soul, their present soul, is going to go on after this. Nobody's ever asked me what happens after they die. Do they go on? It's quite astounding to me. They're all involved in their past lives, but have no concept about whether they're going to die. And do the choices they make in this life have a karma for after they die? It's quite astounding to me. So in this, you create yourself. So anyway, that explains why we have this absolute aversion to getting old. Because we can't even die. We can't even think about it. So enough of that lecture. I'm going to return to this. When you look at re-entering the life force, you have to get over this idea that your age is a handicap. You focus on your creativity, you focus on your wisdom, you focus on your experience, and you focus on what is it you feel you were called to do, that you have yet to experience about yourself. And I urge you to not look at, but will it pay? Is it practical? Because that puritanical leaning is very destructive when you're doing creative thinking because a lot of the ideas that you'll stop the flow of ideas that have never been born before because you're asking them to be productive before they've even been created. Got it?
Okay, well, I'm hearing you, but I'm not understanding what kind of profession I should be going into, because I've already been into healthcare. I've already been into real estate. So I want something that's going to make me feel alive.
Well, I'm going to have to throw that in your court. I'm going to say, what makes you feel alive? You know, if I were you, I'll tell you what you do. Take a bunch of professions, any of them. Put from sales to being a florist to just a bunch of them. And you know, if you just try any of them for 6 months, 3 weeks, you're not marrying any of these.
Okay.
Go try something out. You're not going to get married to this profession. See something like a bookstore. I think I'm going to see maybe I'll try and work there for 6 months. You're not going to marry anything. Get a job at Whole Foods for 6 months. Maybe I'll try this out. If you don't know what you want to do, just do anything, just to get yourself out there. You're not choosing a husband. Don't make it like this big life or death choice. Or do something you've never thought of before. Join a circus. Do something do something preposterous that you never thought you could picture yourself doing. I mean, do something outrageous. Just say, have I always been so conservative? What's not conservative? What have I always been afraid to do? Go the opposite direction. Use some imagination and just say, what have I always been just terrified to do? Go to Vegas and work in a casino. See what I mean?
I do see what you mean.
Treat yourself to an adventure.
Sounds good.
Life is short. Okay. Got
All right,
it.
Thank you.